Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. Today we'll continue our lab, the Star Trek lab. This is the fourth video. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have been continuing our lab. We have prepared our server and we are now installing our Active Directory domain services and promote the server to be a domain controller. And we have created our first forest, which is Star Trek, and we create in this forest the first domain, which is Star Trek.local. Okay, and we have created 8 DNS reverse lookup zones. As we have said before, that this server will not be only a domain controller, it will be also a DHCP, and this DHCP will be responsible for distributing IP addresses, okay, for 8 subnets. So this DHCP will have 8 subnets and he will distribute IPs for each subnet. So to do this, server should have 8 network cards installed on them, or 8 network cards installed on this server. Okay, so after installing the Active Directory domain services and this server had been promoted to a domain controller, we have now 8 DNS zones or 8 DNS forward zones. After installing the Active Directory, I need to create 8 reverse DNS lookup zones. What is the DNS? The DNS primary function is to translate the IP address of the machine to a name, okay, to its name. Okay, sorry, this is the DNS or the forward DNS. Its function is to change or translate the name of the machine to its IP address. As for the reverse lookup zone, it's the opposite. It translates the IP address of the machine to the name, okay, the name of the machine. So this is what we have done. We have installed, or we have created 8 reverse DNS lookup zones for the 8 different subnets. Okay, as I said before, this server has 8 network cards installed on them. Okay, and it's not recommended to install the DHCP role on the same server that have Active Directory installed on it. A best practice is not to install a DHCP role on a server that have the domain controller role installed on it, or the Active Directory role installed on it. Okay, so this is also a best practice. Okay, so we have make the DNS reverse lookup zones. Okay, and after that we have created something called group policy central store location. Okay, this is a function, or it is a way that we can maximize the most benefit from using the group policy. Okay, how we do it, why we do it, this is has been discussed in the previous video and in previous playlists. Okay, something like the Mass Effect playlist, the DC Comics playlist, and Marvel and DC United playlist. And then we have a login script, or Active Directory login script, that should be applied to all of our Active Directory users or in the domain of Star Trek.local. So for this login script to be applied to all of the Active Directory users, we have copied the script, it is .bat extension, and put it in a folder called netlogin. Okay, so the Active Directory knows that there is a login script that will be applied to all of its users by looking in the folder that's called netlogin. Okay, netlogin location, it is in C Windows sysvol /scripts. Okay, and it is this folder names script is shared by the name of netlogin. Okay, so all of this we have done it. In this video we will be preparing ourselves to begin creating the various Active Directory objects in our Star Trek.local domain, the users, the computers, the organizational units. All of this we should work now in creating them by using PowerShell scripts. Okay, so I think maybe I have missed something here, but so we're working with the DNS reverse lookup zone, the Active Directory. Remember that we are working with 2 IP versions here in this lab. We are working with IP version 4 and IP version 6. Okay, so we have 2 kind of IPs, and we have created 8 DNS reverse lookup zones for the IP version 4, and we have also 8 DNS reverse lookup zones for the IP version 6. So we have 16 reverse lookup zones and we have 16 DNS forward zones. Okay, so let's begin now our lab for creating begin creating the various Active Directory objects. So here this is the server or the domain controller and then we will log in now. So here we will open the PowerShell. Remember that the administrator user, it's a local administrator account of the server. It needs to be renamed and disabled. This is the best practice of Microsoft. So now we will open the PowerShell and run it as an administrator. We can pin it to the taskbar. So we go to the PowerShell, and then we will pin this PowerShell module to the taskbar. Okay. Then you right click and tell him to right click again and to run this as an administrator. And then we will go and create. The first thing you need to create in the Active Directory is the organizational units. This is the order of creation. You need to create Active Directory objects. The first thing to create it is the organizational unit, where all of your objects will be added to it, and then you can create the users, the Active Directory users, then the Active Directory groups, then put the different users in the different groups, then creating the computers. Okay, so the last thing to create is the computer objects, and the first thing to create it is the organizational units. Okay, so here we have our script. Okay, and I said before, most of the PowerShell scripts for creating Active Directory objects, it need to see the object names and location from a CSV file or a text file. Okay, so there is a couple of commands, and these commands are its function is to create different Active Directory objects, and these Active Directory objects names and locations, the script can go and see it from a text file, okay, or a CSV file. Okay, so here now what we are doing, this is the location of the CSV file. So here what we are saying here I am changing the location of the CSV file. What I mean by this, here I am telling him to go to a certain location where the organizational units names and locations are put. So it's here because this was for a different lab, so the location of this CSV file is changed. Okay, so here I'm telling him to go to D, partition D, Star Trek folder, then DC domain folder, then scripts, then go and read this CSV file that contains the organizational units for the Active Directory that I need to create, and their names and their locations. Okay, so this is what I'm telling him. The script will go and create Active Directory organizational units from this CSV file, and actually the folder of scripts contains all of the CSV files that various scripts use. So there is a CSV file for creating organizational units, there are another CSV file for creating groups, there are another organizational unit for creating or for putting group members or putting users in different groups, and there also another CSV file for creating computers and robots. Okay, so this folder contains all of the CSV files that contains the different Active Directory objects names and locations, Active Directory objects like users, computers, and so on. So here the location, we are modifying the location to reflect our folder of scripts location. Okay, on my server now. Okay, so as you see now, for example, it was in Mass Effect domain. This was another lab with another location. So here I'm just changing the location of or modifying the location of the folder of scripts, so the PowerShell command can go and read the correct, or can find or locate the correct CSV file. Okay, so now after doing this, we will save it and then begin creating our first Active Directory objects, which is the organizational units. so here everything is complete. Now we need to begin creating the organizational units. First of all, we'll go to the PowerShell and then change. Okay, first of all, this is the line that we will implement in the PowerShell. But before that, we need to change. Here is, for example, the PowerShell. It is on the folder C users administrator. We need to go to the location of the folder of the scripts. Okay, so now we need to go to the Star Trek DC domain scripts folder. So we need to change the directory from C users domain C users administrator to the Star Trek domain scripts. Okay, I think you can work from this location, but anyway, I just prefer to be on the correct folder. So now we have changed the directory in the PowerShell script or in the PowerShell module to go to the folder that contains the scripts. Okay, so now here we can see that it is changed to this location. It's now on the Star Trek domain scripts, the folder of scripts, and then we will begin implementing the first line of PowerShell to create the organizational units in the Active Directory. But here we will be encountered by an error. Okay, so this error, I will show you what he says, the directory object not found. We can see here that there is something we need to go and see. There is something saying that the directory object not found. Okay, so there is a problem. He can't create, or he doesn't know where to create the organizational units. He can't find the location, so he doesn't know where to create these organizational units, which domain he needs to create them, which location he needs to go and create it. Okay, so here we will see the CSV file that contains the organizational unit names and locations. Here we see that there was a problem that, for example, this is the first organizational unit. It will be in the Star Trek local domain, so this is correct, and then we will create another organizational unit called Starfleet command. It will be in the Starfleet. So this organization unit, this is the main organization unit, and Starfleet command, it is a sub organization unit from the main organization unit. So we can see here that it is its location, it is under Starfleet organization unit, but the domain is not correct. So the domain, it should, if the correct syntax, it should be the location will be in the folder of Starfleet. So Starfleet command, it is a sub organization unit from this main organization unit, so its location, it will be under Starfleet Star Trek.local domain, not MEU.local domain. This is not correct. This was from the previous lab, so this should be changed from MEU to Star Trek local. Okay, and also we will have a folder or organization unit called Starships. This Starships will be also a sub organizational unit from the Starfleet main organizational unit. So also Starfleet MEU, this is not correct. We need to change it to Star Trek.local. Okay, so this is the main organization unit. Here is the location of it. This is a sub organization unit from this main organization unit. It should be in Starfleet command Star Trek.local. Okay, not this location. So the location is not correct. There is no something called, or there is no domain called MEU. The domain is called Star Trek.local. So this main organization unit, it is in Star Trek.local domain, not an MEU.local domain. Okay, so we need to change it. This is the first error we have encountered. And another thing I need to notify you all, there is a problem here that also I will encounter here when I named, for example, we can see that under Starship there is a sub organizational unit called Columbia NX-02. Okay, so take note that when you are creating organizational units in Active Directory, you should not use dash. Okay, so dash here, it will make a problem with the PowerShell and a problem with the Active Directory. It will not accept doing dashes or to name organization unit with dashes in it. Okay, so this is another problem that I have encountered. There is a lot of my organizational units named like this. Okay, so I need to change it, and this also will affect my groups and my users, so I need to reconstruct all of my CSV files that contains most of my Active Directory objects, so my PowerShell scripts will not encounter any error. Anyway, we will change this to things concerning the domain, and then I will show you all that there will be an error concerning creating some organizational units in my domain because it contains dash, okay, or some characters that the Active Directory cannot handle, okay, or there is a problem with it. So we have, for example, here 1 2 3 4 5, we have 5 organizational units that have dashes in it. So this will be the problem. It will not be created. We need to remove the dash and then create the Active Directory object again, okay. So here we will change it. Here I have closed the PowerShell. I open it again. I thought there was a problem with the script itself. So I'll try to create or to implement the PowerShell script again. But before that, I said before, I need to change the location, okay, because the location was not correct. You need to change the domain meu.local, it's not correct. So the location of the organizational unit depends on two things. If it is a sub-organizational unit, so you should tell him what is the main organizational unit and which and this main organizational unit in which domain, okay. So here I'm just trying to refresh to see if maybe the PowerShell script or the previous attempt, that the PowerShell script. So here we can see, if we can see here that, for example, that what it has created has only created the Starfleet organization unit and didn't create the others because there was a problem with the location of the subfolders or the sub-organization units under this main organization unit. So all of my organization unit will be a sub from this main organization unit, okay. So we have a problem with the location. As I said before, we will change it now. So I will delete it, but here he will tell me that you cannot delete it because why? Because another thing to be done here, the Active Directory have an option activated on its organization units that said that prevents you from deleting them. So you need to deactivate the option for deleting Active Directory objects, then you can delete any organization unit you need. I will show you all how we can delete the or deactivate the deleting or the undeleting of the Active Directory objects. So for example, here there is an option activated on this organization unit. I can't delete it, so it tells me or it prevents me from deleting it. So we will deactivate this option, and after that we can delete this organization unit without any problems, okay. So here what we will do, we will go to we need to go to the view, okay, and then tell him to view advanced features. Then we will go to the organizational unit and then click properties, okay, and then there is something called security here. Sorry, not security object. Here we can see that protect object from accidental deletion. So here he's preventing me from deleting the organizational unit. We need to deactivate this option. This is activated by default. Any organization unit you create will have this option created on them. So it gives you something prevents you from accidentally deleting any organization unit. Or for example, you make shift delete and you try to delete an organization unit, it will not be deleted. For example, you made a mistake or something, so this prevents you from accidental deletion of any organization unit. So to delete any organization unit, you need to deactivate this option, okay. So here we will uncheck it and then we can delete the organizational unit. Delete, then yes, then we can go now and we change the location, because why this was correct, this organization unit was, its name is correct and its location is correct. These two, okay, their name is correct, but their location is not correct, okay. So now we will change it, okay, change the location. So now we try now to again try to implement or use the PowerShell script to create again the organizational units. We will see it will create some organizational units which their names doesn't contain dash, but the organizational unit that will contain dashes in their name will not be created. Okay, so take care when you create any organizational unit in your domain, it should not contain any dashes or underscore, for example. Okay, so here now again I am changing the directory or telling the PowerShell to go to the directory of the scripts folder, and then I need to tell him to implement the PowerShell script. Okay, copy, and then okay, and then paste. So now we will see it will create some organizational units that their names, as I said before, is doesn't contain dashes. The organizational unit that contains dashes will not be created. I will show you all this. Okay, how this will appear if we go, for example, and check our. You can see that there is less errors, but still there is some organizational units that was not created. I will show you all if we return back to the for example, here we can see that from here we can see that some actually, okay, when you create any active directory object, not only the, okay, I think it is the dash only. Take care that you cannot create dashes in any active directory in any organization unit. Okay, as I said before. So here let's see, I will show you all what I mean, but first here we can see if we return back to the make a refresh, okay, what we will see now, here we can see that, no, I need to see another thing, but okay, apply and okay, I will delete it already, but I need to show you all that it will be, if you can see under it, we can see here that there is two organizational units under this main organizational unit. So it has created, okay, some organizational unit, but not all of them. For example, under ships we need to have about 8 sub organizational units, but it's not created. It only created a couple of organizational units. The one that contains dashes will not be created, so we will delete it, and then we go to the CSV files that contain the organizational units. Here I'm telling him to delete all of this folder and its subfolders. So now what we will do, we'll go to the CSV file that contains the names of the organizational units and remove the dash from the names of the organizational units. Okay, so here what we will do, we will remove, for example, here Nexus we will remove the dash here, and we will remove Enterprise, we remove the dash here, and here. Okay, so this was the problem. Okay, we will modify it. Okay, and we need to take care that it is removed from all of our CSV file. Okay, so we need to modify it. It will take a little bit of time, but I will show you all how we can do it. Here I have installed Office on the server, and then what I am doing here I am modifying the organizational unit, okay, CSV file, and you need to also modify the others, because the others also depend on the organizational unit structure name. So the groups will be put according to the folders that are created for them, okay, in the organizational unit. Okay, so here we need to change it. We need to modify all of our CSV files. Okay, so it will not contain this. Okay, I think I can pass it for you, but here I am just changing it. Okay, and we need to reflect or modify the rest of the CSV files, because it is all connected. The organizational unit is connected, or the CSV file that contains the organizational units is connected to the other CSV files that contains the different CSV objects like the users, computers, and so on. So all are related to each other because this is the folders that will contain the different Active Directory objects. So here we need to modify, for example, the location. Okay, it need to be changed. So there is a lot of things to be done. I will not put you in all of these details, but here I am modifying all of them. Okay, all of this are be changed or modified. All of my CSV files are modified. So here what we will do, I think I am also modifying everything here, and even the users. Okay, so the users, we are modifying all of the CSV files, okay, that contains the Active Directory objects, users, computers, and so on. So all of these are modified. So we need to go there, okay, and modify all of them. I don't need to put you or bother you all with the details because this is what I am doing. And here we will go and make all of this, okay, and then I need to get after that. Here are modified all of them, and all of this is done, okay, with this modification of all of the CSV files. Okay, so I think here, okay, so all of this video, it is modifying the different CSV files, okay, for the different Active Directory objects. Okay, so now we have modified all of them. This is the end of the video, but I will go to another video because it was very we didn't do anything. So here now we will continue our lab. Here, just a moment, I need to see something. Just a moment. So here we will continue our lab. Here we have modified the different CSV files. Now we will begin creating or begin working now after modifying all of our CSV files and remove anything related to the organizational units that contains dashes. Now we have rectified the error. Now we can go and begin creating our different organizational units. So we will open the PowerShell again. Okay, run as administrator. And then we will begin creating the different organizational units. So now we will create again we will create the organizational units after modifying the name of the organizational units. So now we right click and paste. Okay, so now you can see now it will not give us any errors. We have rectified the errors, we have modified the locations, we have modified the name of the organizational units. Okay, so now if we go, we can see after refresh, okay, that here we can see that we have the Starfleet command. Okay, we have the different sub-organizational units. You can see here that all of them, if you have a little bit of a look, all of them, their names doesn't contain any dashes. Okay, so here all of the main organizational units and the sub-organizational units doesn't contain any dashes. Okay, so this was the problem. Okay, it was for the error that appeared before. Okay, so now we can see that, for example, here we can have a look. Here we can see that every spaceship, okay, will have its crew, its computers, Deutronics, its servers, its robots, this is also computers, and its security groups. Okay, so this is the ship, the crew, the computers, the servers, the computers number 2, and the security groups. Okay, and this is the main Starfleet command, or the main this is the main center, or the main command center, and it will contain the crew, the computers, the servers, the robots, and the security groups. Okay, so this is the first thing. We have created our organizational units. Okay, now we need to create the users. Okay, so now we will have another PowerShell script, okay, to create the users. So what it will do, it will put different users in different ships. For example, here we can see, I just need to tell you something. For example, this will contain some users, it will be in the crew of Columbia, some users will be in the crew of Deep Space, some users be in the crew of Enterprise, some users be a group or will be in the Starfleet command center in the crew. So every user will be distributed in different crew organizational units in different ships. Okay, so now here we can see now that now we will begin implementing the PowerShell script. We will tell him display, or tell him to run the script. So here it's telling us that as a success or notification success, it will tell us the name of the user and it has been added to the domain. Okay, so now, and if it finds any duplication, it will not add it. So if the user is created twice, or it is in the Excel sheet twice, it will not, or the CSV file twice, it will not be taken. It will be created only one time. Okay, so here it's now creating the different users. We can see that it will be distributed among the different crew organizational units in the different ships organizational units. Okay, so now if you can go now and close and open, we will check every organizational unit. We can see, for example, that in the Starfleet command crew organizational unit, we will see some users here. I just need to have a note that you see this bizarre icon, or this bizarre character. This was a problem. Okay, when I was writing in the CSV file, this is an error. I need to remove it, so I will remove it also, but this is not correct. This is a syntactic error, or it is something in the font, or something in the character that is written in the Excel sheet or in the CSV file. I need to change it. Okay, I will change it anyway. So this is the crew member. We can see here, for example, that all of them are real characters from the Star Trek universe. For example, here we can see that it is Tom Paris. This is one of the users. It is in Cassandra resident. He is a user in the Starfleet command, and he is living on Cassandra or Caretzia resident. Okay, and here we can see that there is different users. For example, here we will have artificial intelligent Active Directory username. So this artificial intelligent usernames will be used for different missions on the Starfleet command computers. So for example, the IT will not be a user, it will be an AI. Okay, the robots will be in the Starfleet command for the kitchen will be commanded by an AI kitchen user. Okay, and the security, or the robots for the security, will be run by the Starfleet command AI user. Okay, and so and so, and the fighters also will be commanded by Active Directory user AI fighter. Okay, so this is the different users in the crew. Okay, so if we now go to the Columbia, for example, crew members, here we can see that there is also some members. Here we can see another thing. I need to go there again. If you go to the Columbia, here we can see that there is something called James Kirk. Okay, this was one of the heroes in Star Trek. It's called James Kirk. So James Kirk is one of the Star Trek heroes, and he is James Kirk. He is a human, and he is on the ship of Columbia NX-02. Okay, so here the second thing we need to create, it is to create the groups. So now we are creating groups. Okay, now we will create the groups, the different groups, and it will be distributed among the different ships. Okay, so every ship will have its own Active Directory groups. Okay, so now we will go and create it. I need to show you all also a little bit of something related to the AI. So I have said before that will be some Active Directory users that will be used to manage different computers or different things. Let me show you a little bit of a graph here. Something like this one. It would be the DC domain, and then I think not here. DC domain, this is not there. Let's turn back. It's here, this one, and then we will have something like robots. Just a moment. Okay, here we can go. This is the one. So here what I'm doing here we can see that, if you can get a little bit closer here. So what is this? Okay, this is different. We will have robots, so we'll have robots in each department: the robots of the front office, the robot of the kitchen, the robot of the housekeeping, the robots of the accounting, the robot of engineering, the IT robots, the food and beverage robots, human resources robots, recreation robots. All of these are robots. Let's consider them as computers. Okay, so what I will do, every department will have an Active Directory user that will be considered as an AI that will manage them. For example, we will have an Active Directory user called engineering robot AI user. This user will be responsible for running the computers of the computers of the engineering, or managing the robots of the engineering. For example, there is another one for the information technology robot AI. This Active Directory user will be responsible for running the computers of the IT, or running the robots of the IT, or in other words, he will be responsible for logging into these two computers. So here I am creating different Active Directory users and limiting them to access certain robots or certain computers. Okay, this will be done, and all of this Active Directory users are considered artificial intelligent. I will create them for every department and put them in a group called AI robot users. Okay, AI robot users. So we will limit every AI robot user, Active Directory user, to log into its specific department robots. So this engineering robot AI user will log in only to the computers of the engineering, or the robots of the engineering. So this is in a way what is the AI Active Directory users. This is a simple way of explaining it. So this is what I am telling. Let's refer again to our video. So now we will begin creating different groups. So now he's telling us the most of the groups are created, their names. So we have about 1067 groups. All of them are created. So every ship will have its own security groups, or Active Directory security groups. So now it is begin creating the users. Okay, or we have created the users. No, we have created the organizational units, then we have created the users. Now we are creating the groups, and the next step is to put different users in different groups. Okay, it will take a little bit of time because there are 1067 groups. Okay, and we have 278 users and about 968 computers. So we have a lot of objects to create. Just a moment. Okay, so now creating different groups. It's taking a little bit of time, of course. As I said before, it's 1067 group. So we can see that from the labeling or the naming of the groups, we can know that every group related to each, or it is for which ship. Okay, so you can see USS SAR, this is the group for the ship USS Saratoga, and we can see that we can see also after that there is USS Shi, it is Shinzo, okay, or some, or SSE, this is another ship. You can see at the bottom it will be USS Voy, this is a group for USS Voyager ship. Okay, so this is USS Voy, this is USS Voyager groups. Deep Space Nine, this is the groups for Deep Space ship. So now it's finished, we have created all of the groups. So the next step is to put the different users in the different groups. First of all, we need to check, here is the Starfleet command, this is the groups of the Starfleet command. For example, all of them here, you will have every one of them. This is for the deep space groups. Okay, so this is the deep space ship groups. Here for example Certus, okay, this is the groups of the USS Certus. So we have created all of the groups. Now we need to put different users in their respective groups. So we will have the IT group of the Starfleet command will be put in the group of the Starfleet command. The IT personnel will be put in the security group, in the Columbia group, for example. Okay, let me show you first. We will this PowerShell script will put different users in different, or different Active Directory users in different Active Directory groups. Okay, so here for example he's saying that there is a user that he can't find, or he can't create, or he can't put him in a group. We can see that this name is not correct. I said before I didn't have dashes, okay, in the naming, but anyway. So now you can go and open any group. For example, here in the security groups in the Starfleet command, we have, for example, any one of these groups. For example, Starcom Human group. Okay, if you go to the members, you can see there is a lot of members here. So the script is successful. It had put different users in different groups. So now we will go to the next PowerShell script is to create different computers, okay, or different robots in different organizational units. Okay, robots, it is considered in my lab as secondary computers, okay, or they are computers, not servers. Okay, so they are workstations or terminals. Let's consider them like this. Okay, so we'll have a little bit of time because it's about 968 robot, and there is also 968 computer or terminal. It will take a little bit of time, of course, because as I said before, they are a lot. This is, by the way, the most lab that I have created in it a lot of Active Directory objects. So this is the most lab that contains the most Active Directory objects, okay? Or the greatest Active Directory objects, okay? It will take a little bit of time. I can just make it a little bit quicker, but it will not take that much. But anyway, okay, so now it is finished. If you can go and see the robots in every organizational net, you can see there is the robots, okay? And this for Columbia ship, this is for robots for the deep space ship, this is the robots for the CUSS Certus ship. So we have succeeded. Now we can go to the last script to create computers or terminals in the different organizational units. So now we can press enter. I think a little bit. I need just to know how much time left for me. Okay, it's about 46 minutes. I hope you don't reach an hour. I will end this video if it reaches 1 hour limit. So now it's creating the computer object, so we can go there a little bit further. Okay, so we have some time. Okay, we pause it. Okay, or I think it's finished already. No, it's not finished. Okay, now it's finished. If you can go to the computers and see, for example, all the Deutronics, this is for computers. You can see that these computers are created, and for the robots and for the servers also, you can see that there is some in the servers. Okay, so we have different computer objects, different server objects are created, the security groups. Okay, okay, for example, here is the IT. Here what I'm doing here, the Starfleet command Karim Raouf. Okay, this user, or let me turn back. Okay, if you can go to the Starcom command, okay, or the Starcom IT, okay, this group we will have Karim in it. So this group or Starcom IT will be the domain admins. So the IT of the Starfleet command will be the domain admins and the enterprise admins and the schema admins. Okay, they are the domain admins. Okay, so this is Karim, this is me. Okay. What I'll do now here, I need to make the Starcom IT group to be the domain admins, the enterprise admins, the schema admins. So how can I do this? By putting them in the different Active Directory groups. So here is the domain admins group. Here the members, I will put the Starcom IT group. Okay, Starcom IT group. So by putting myself, or by putting my Starcom IT as a member of the domain admins, enterprise admins and schema admins, I have full control over the Active Directory. Okay, so this is a very good thing. Okay, so then Starcom, okay, underscore IT, enterprise admins, and I put myself in the administrators group also, but this is not necessary because by default the domain admins and the enterprise admins are a member of the administrators group. Okay, so here Starcom IT, check. Okay, okay, schema admins. So I have put myself or the Starcom group as a member of domain admins, enterprise admins, schema admins, and also I put them in the administrators group. But we can see here that the domain admins and enterprise admins are already a member of the administrators group anyway, so I'm just putting myself in the necessary groups to have full control over the Active Directory. So now we have full control over the domain control. I need just to remove these characters echo because it's annoying me, so I will just try to remove them. Okay, here I will reset the password because I will log in with this username the next time, because I will not use the administrator to log into the server, because I said before it needs to be disabled and renamed. Okay, I will use my Active Directory account. And then we need to remove, I think I will remove this characters because it's annoying me. As I said before, I'll just remove them. Okay, because I said before, here we can go and remove these characters because it's a problem with the text file. Okay, I'll just removing them. Okay, here you go, and I will do this for all of the users and groups. Okay, so I need just to remove them all. Okay, here this is something. Okay, for Taylor, I don't know why this character appears, but maybe it is something with the text file. It didn't happen with me before, so here we are just removing the different text files. Okay, or something. Here just clearing it. Okay, so here I'm just removing all of them. Here we can see that. Here we can see that I am just cleaning all of them. So now just a moment here again. So here I'm just revising them. Okay, and clearing them. So at the end I will finish it. Okay, and then I will pause the video and then finish it. So here I have finished it already. Let me pause it here. It's on the 22 minutes and 22 minutes. It's 64 minutes. Okay, so here we will pause it here because I think it had reached less than an hour, but anyway, this is good. We will stop here. So in the upcoming video we will begin working more with the Active Directory objects, and you will begin working some more with the users and the groups in the Active Directory. So hope this video is informative for you all, and would like to thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.